The Confederacy's plan wasn't to win the war. Nope, they just needed to outlast the Union. Hey everybody, welcome back to History with Missy. I'm your host, Layla Hodge, and today is 3-1 Day! So, today I've come on today to tell you guys about two things. I promised you guys that I'd do a video on Confederate strategy, plus I have some fun facts I want to share with you after this video. So stay tuned to the end, you don't want to miss any of it. Let's get started. Just as a side note, I'm going to try to get this done in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. So, let's go. So like I said earlier, the Confederacy didn't want to win the war. Well, they did, but they wanted to win it by not losing. They wanted to wear their enemy down to the point where he just want to stop fighting and say, you know what, fine, go, please. And they also wanted to enlist the help of other countries, like Britain was a big buyer of southern cotton, and if the South goes down, if the Confederacy goes down, and they can't get their cotton, that's going to be bad for Britain's textile industry, their industry of making clothes and stuff. That's going to be really bad for Britain. And from what I heard, it almost worked. But Antietam, we'll talk about Antietam in another video, but the Confederacy lost Antietam, and with Antietam, they lost any hope of getting any help from Britain. Also, they had another advantage too. They were trying to use one advantage that they had was the fact that they knew the South better than the North did, because the North is coming to the South. The Confederacy is the South. The people live in the South. If you come into my house and try to fight me, I'm gonna know this house way better than you if this is your first time coming here. I'm gonna know where to hide. I'm gonna know where not to hide. I'm going to know more about this house than you do, because it's my house. So, the South was the Confederacy's house. Actually, all this land belonged to the indigenous people, but, you know, I digress. Now, it was the Confederacy's house. So the Confederacy knew the South better than the North did. So they were trying to use that advantage to try to win the war by not losing, basically, by wearing their enemy down. But the plan had some flaws in it, like in terms of resources and people and just basic stuff. The North is bigger than the South. The population size was bigger, they had more textiles, they had more shoes and boots, they had more firearms. I've got 47 seconds left, and, well, plus, in the Confederacy, 3.5 million, according to this one video that I watched, were slaves, and most of those slaves, some of them may have felt some kind of attachment to their masters, to their captors, but most of the slaves would not want to fight for someone who was fighting to keep them in slavery. All right, 29 seconds left. So that's the Confederate strategy. They were trying to just wear down the North to the point where they just wanted them to leave. Plus, they were trying to win the help of Britain, but like I said, with Antietam, they also lost any hope of getting any help from Great Britain. I've got 14 seconds left, so that was basically the Confederate strategy. Now let's get on to that other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, in honor of 313, that's the area code in the city of Detroit, the biggest city in the state of Michigan. So today I'm going to talk about my favorite football team, my favorite sports team, since I'm not really into sports that much except when the Lions win. We're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. Go Blue! That's Michigan. But all right, so according to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, after 3 attempts at establishing a football team in Detroit in the 1920s, it didn't really take off so well. Until the Detroit radio executive, George A. Richard, purchased the Portsmouth Spartans for the then astounding sum of $8,000 and then moved the franchise to the Motor City of Detroit. And the Lions were born. So in 1934, in their first season, they started playing games on Thanksgiving Day. And except for a 6-year gap between 1939 and 1934 because of World War II, they continued the tradition until the present day. And I'm very glad to say that I was watching the game, I believe it was 2024. I was watching the game that day and they won. Woo! They didn't win last year. They lost to the Packers. But all right. And also, I want to talk about some history in the making. I know that there are some skeptics out there who believe the We Lions can never make it to the Super Bowl, but that's just simply not true. As long as Christ is out of the grave, there's always hope. So, from my Lions continue hoping. Happy 313 Day. Happy Pi Day, because Pi Day is tomorrow. I'm not making a video on that, I don't think. But I just want to talk to you about this and, well, talk about what makes Michigan great. For me, what makes Michigan great is the artwork. You can find so much stuff there. You can find, like, I Love You, Fight the Power, and Hunger. There's this one mural in downtown Detroit. It's called the Zero Hunger mural, and you've just got to see it. It has this woman, I think, holding a basket, I think. It looks really nice, but you've got to see it, because I don't really remember it that well. I love all the sculptures. There's this one sculpture of, I believe it's Joe Louis's fist. It always strikes me as strange. And just as my opinion, my humble opinion, it always strikes me as strange. George Washington gets his whole body put up in Detroit, Michigan. Not his hat, not his head, his whole body. And Joe Louis, or whoever's fist that is, gets stuck up there, just like that, in your face. It looks nice. It's nice to see, but I can't wait until the day when Detroit gets an entire body of a black person. And not a naked body, an actual body of someone who makes Michigan great. Like maybe Mayor Mary Sheffield. She's the first woman to be the mayor of Detroit. Maybe they can make a statue of her. And not her hair, not her head, her whole body. So, that's happy 313 Day, happy 313 Day, and one pride for all my Lions fans. And that's my video. I managed to do it in about 6 to 7 minutes. So, go me. So, as you see, I'm wearing my Lions blue. So, happy 313 Day. And if you notice my tongue is green, that's because I just got finished drinking something that I invented. So, happy 313 Day. See you guys tomorrow for Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. Happy 313 Day. Just have a good day. Bye.